Well, hi, everybody. It's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and I'm here today to guide you through your Yin Yoga practice. We're going to get started in just about a minute so that you have the opportunity to grab some blocks. Oh my gosh, some blocks. Also, maybe a strap. And when you have everything that you need, you can lay down for some savasana. Oh my gosh. I feel like technologically everything just got challenging over here. So I will meet you on the floor in savasana in just a moment. Move this. Oop, just kidding. Oh my gosh. Like I said, the day of struggles continues right now. Okay. Oh my, I hope you're laughing with me and not at me. All right. So the time has come. We are laying down on the floor. Please don't do anything bad, Uncle Buck. Uh, for Savasana, we're going to spend just about 3 minutes here in this opening Savasana. So first, just get into it, and then start to actively try and relax. Think about yourself as like, not to make you think of yourself as feet, but think about yourself like feet. At the ocean's shore. And the longer that you stand there where the tide comes in, the more that you start to really sink into the sand. And I want you to sink into your mat as much as possible. So with every exhale, it's like the tide is going back towards the ocean, and you're just relaxing a little bit more into your space. Remember, throughout today's practice, if your eyes are moving, then your mind is moving. So quiet your eyes, quiet your body, quiet your breath as much as you can. We'll spend one more minute right here. All right. As we prepare to move, before we get into our first passively active posture other than Savasana, make sure that your strap is nearby. Our first stretch is wind removing. So keep your left leg where it is. Might need to reground through your lower back. I know I like to do that. Pull the right knee all the way out towards the side and then in towards the chest. And if you can, interlace all 10 fingers up to the webbing, just an inch or so below the knee. But if it's hard for you to hold on here, then already it's a great time to bring your strap into your practice. And a lot of times I like to even bring the strap behind my head. So that way I'm using the weight of the head um, to help create the stretch and less of the shoulders and chest and back to muscle through things. I'm going to try not to talk too much today because I'm sure you can hear that I don't sound the best. It's okay though, because every day I promise I'm feeling a little bit better. Last couple of breaths right here. Next up, we have a spine twist. So if you're using a strap, you can just pull it away towards the side. Take your left hand to the outside of the right leg. Extend your right arm all the way to the side. I'm going to go ahead and preemptively bring a block to the left side of the body. And let's roll on over into a nice gentle spine twist right here. Check in with your upper body. Maybe make some adjustments to relax and work towards getting both shoulders towards the floor. Sometimes, if you have your right hand all the way up towards the sky above your shoulders height, it can make it a little bit more challenging to get that arm down towards the floor. We're spending a total of 2 minutes here again. So one has already passed. Relax, release as much as you can. Take your time, carefully roll onto your back once again, and then straighten your right leg out. So we're coming into a big toe stretch. If it's hard for you to just keep that leg straight up towards the ceiling, perhaps you bring your strap and just use your strap to help you uh, find the stretch gently into your hamstring. We're in this one again for 2 minutes. If it's a little too intense for you to keep both legs straight, bending your left leg that's on the floor can help you ease your way into this hamstring stretch. You got just about 1 minute left. So, as we move through today's practice, as always, let your breath be the guide. Don't come into any stretch that's so deep that you find that you need to hold or limit your breath to be in the stretch. And with that said, and those full breaths, you still do want to find a noticeable stretch, and your noticeable stretch might even be uncomfortable. If at any point a movement or hold goes from being uncomfortable and noticeable to actually feeling painful, make an adjustment, find what does work, tune back into your breath, and then imagine we're by the ocean, and every exhale, the tide is pulling back in, You're sinking a little bit more into your relaxation and into your stretch. All right, next up, we've got a figure four stretch. So go ahead, cross your right leg over the left, keeping the left foot down on the floor, at least for the first minute. Work towards bringing your two knees in one line. So you should feel a big stretch into your right hip flexor, maybe a little bit towards the inner thigh, groin area, all the way up towards the right knee. Might even feel this big stretch because we're getting a little into the quad, into that insertion towards the kneecap joint area. Words are challenging in my post-COVID fog. Okay. And if this feels good, if this feels right, you can stay here and keep the focus on the right leg, front side of the leg. If you want a little bit more of a stretch towards the back side of that right leg, you can go ahead and lift your left foot up off the floor. And if it's hard to hold on to that left foot at all, then just bring your strap into the stretch. And we are here for one more minute. I'm going to release my foot back down towards the floor because I feel like I'm just putting a lot of muscling into the upper body to hold that stretch. And the focus really should be through the lower half of the body. Just about 2 breaths left. Great. Removing the strap from my right foot. I'm going to extend both legs out once again. So taking just a breath or two in your savasana, keep your hips right where they are and start to walk your legs over to the left side as much as possible. You can keep your feet side by side, or if it feels right, you can cross your right leg over your left. And then upper body, shoulders, arms, hands also reach all the way over towards the left side for one more big emphasis through the right side of the body. A little more than a minute to go here. And remember, we're here to relax and feel good. So if you notice that the stretch is just too intense throughout from the hip to the heel, perhaps uncross your leg. You're still going to get a great stretch all throughout the right side of the body. Or at least I am. So I hope you are too. All right. Coming out opposite the way that you went in. So bringing upper body back through center. Bring your legs back through center. Go ahead and relax your arms down by your side. Again, spending this next minute in savasana right where we started. And check in with yourself on these next few breaths. Does the right side of the body feel any different than the left side of the body? All right. Keeping your right leg where it is, we're now going to bend the left knee, pull it up out towards the side, and then back in towards your chest. If you can, interlace all 10 fingers up to the webbing, just an inch or so below the knee as we come into our range of moving pose. Just moving my body a little so I can check the timer because we're here once again for about 2 minutes. All these opening stretches are just about 2 minutes per stretch. So focus on finding your breath, your stillness of your mind, body. We got this. Next up, we have our spine twist. So right hand comes to the outside of the left leg. Perhaps you place a block over on the right side to help be supportive. And then roll yourself over. Come on into your spine twist. And once again, I have my left hand below my left shoulder. I know I'm kind of at an angle, so it's actually a little bit more in line with the shoulder, in line or below, and that helps me to get the left shoulder towards the floor. The higher that I have the left arm, the harder it is to get both shoulders relaxed on the mat. For me, but every body is different and every day is different. However, if you find you have trouble getting your opposite shoulder to the mat, give it a try to bring your arms a little bit lower in this instant. Carefully roll onto your back once again, keeping that left leg bent. Maybe bending your right leg, left leg goes up towards the ceiling. So you're getting a nice hamstring stretch. We're also sending lots of blood down towards the heart, promoting relaxation. Legs up against the wall, or just legs up towards the ceiling, or this big toe stretch are great if you're really feeling overwhelmed, if your mind's going a million miles per hour, to help quiet your body down. Really good for preparing for bed as well. Excuse me. So go ahead. We've got the figure four stretch coming up next. Cross your left leg over your right and work to bring your two knees in one line. Staying here for at least the first minute, focusing on the opening of the front side of the body, the hip, the groin, the quad, starting to stretch. And you can stay right here, or if you want to open that back side of the left leg, start to lift your right leg up. I'm just going to keep my right leg on the floor for now. Okay, go ahead, uncross your left leg from your right. Extend both legs out again. Keep your hips where they are and walk your heels as far over to the right as feels possible or comfortable. Remember, you have the option to cross your legs over each other. I'm going to move my upper body first this time. Start to get that total body stretch. Then I can check in and see if I want extra deep stretch through the legs. And it turns out I'm not ready for it. So I'm going to uncross my feet. But do what feels good for you. We've got just about a minute and a half to go right here. Create that noticeable stretch through the left side of the body. And noticeable can mean uncomfortable. It just shouldn't be painful. So I still feel a lot of stretch without my ankles crossed. I promise you. Feels pretty intense, but still making sure breath is the guide here. All right. Coming out opposite the way you went in. So bringing upper body back up through center. Bringing legs back to center. Relax your arms down by your side. Right back where we started, savasana. Scan your body from head to toe and notice how you're feeling. Does the left side of the body feel any different? Do both sides maybe feel a little bit more relaxed or open? We've got our longest posture of the day coming up next. One of two long postures, both very relaxing, I think. Start to bend your knees, bring the soles of the feet back down towards the floor. And we're going to use our prop to press ourselves up and come into that supported glute bridge. So a little self-myofascial release, a little pressure onto your lower back, and glutes are gently relaxing on the other side of the block. And you can pick whatever height for this block you want. You can keep your heels close to the center line of the body. You can even walk, wiggle your legs forward, even extending your legs all the way out into pontoon pose for more of a stretch through the lower ab and digestive system as well. Yeah, not quite bring my legs all the way out today. Maybe you even bring your arms overhead for a stretch through the chest and lats. Find what does feel good. And we're going to be here for 3 more minutes. If you brought your arms up overhead, relax your arms down by your side. If you extended your legs towards the end of the mat, start to walk, wiggle your legs in towards the center line of the body. Press yourselves up. Release your lower back down towards the mat. Bring the soles of the feet together and allow knees to fall heavy towards the side for a reclined bound angle or butterfly. What feels best for you? You decide how uh, far in or out you want your heels. The closer your heels are towards the center of your body, the more you're going to get this big stretch in your hip flexors. The more that you have your heels further towards the bottom of the mat, the more the stretch starts to come towards a little bit more of the outer thighs, the lower back. We're going to be here for, I believe, let's just do one more minute. One more minute. Okay, we're going to make our way off of our backs. So carefully roll over and then press yourselves into tabletop. And once you get to tabletop, it's time for some cat-cows. So find any version of cat-cow that feels good for you. Just a little over 1 minute right here before we're going to come into our second long posture of the day, which is child's pose. So be prepared for your upcoming extended child's pose. I know for an extended child's pose, I don't always like to have my head all the way down on the floor. It brings a lot of fluid into the head. And I promise you, I already have enough of it. You can hear it. So I'm going to keep my head on a block in 1 minute when we transition into child's pose. All right, start to open your knees as wide as you want. Toes can come together. Sink your glutes back towards your heels and bring your head down to heart's level or below. You can extend your arms as far forward as feels appropriate for you today. We got 4 minutes here in our child's pose. Maybe you even decide to take an extra little stretch through the lats. You can stretch your elbows forward and then bend your elbows and bring your fingers back towards your neck or the back of your head, wherever they feel comfortable relaxing. I bet you created the most amazing stillness. We're going to carefully make our way back into tabletop. And from there, hands forward, right knee comes forward, right toes come to the left side of the mat. Walk your leg back. We're going to spend 1 minute right here, not even, just under a minute in some version of pigeon or swan. So think about left hip flexor coming towards the mat and right glute not touching the mat. Just a couple breaths right here. And on your next exhale, right glute is intentionally coming towards the mat. Left leg folds in. You find yourself in deer pose. Work to bring that left glute back down towards the floor. If that's too much for you, you can continue to focus on this nice low back stretch by bringing your hands towards your front right knee. But we're here once again for just about 1 minute. All right, if you twisted or folded forward, sit yourself back up, keeping that right leg on the floor right where it is. We're going to take the left leg and bring the left heel towards the outside of the right leg. As you sit your left glute down, start to bring your two legs in line with each other. So you might even need to walk or wiggle your right leg forward. And it's pretty normal if your left knee is kind of coming up towards your chest if you can't fully stack those legs. So if so, bring a block to the party, find something that you can apply a little bit of pressure from the outside of that left knee on. Ooh, big stretch. We're just here for a couple more breaths, couple more breaths. Awesome. You made it. Remove your prop. We're going to flip back over and come into tabletop again. Give yourself a couple cat cows here in tabletop. Remember, you can vary your cat cow. So maybe now you find that you need a little bit more love and stretch towards your hips. Because we're about to do the same three postures, but with the other leg leading. All right, so hands down on the floor. Oh, it feels so good. In front of you, begin to bring your left leg forward. Left toes come towards the right side of the mat, and then walk or wiggle your right leg behind you. And you can release yourself all the way down towards the mat. Maybe you use your prop. Remember, the idea is that your extended back leg's hip is coming closer towards the mat than your front leg's glute, which is probably floating a bit in the air. And that's okay. And you don't have to fold forward. You can stay lifted, and you don't have to do the same thing on this side that you did on the other side because both sides of the body are not the same. So just find what feels good right now. And if you fold it forward, lift yourself up, intentionally bring your left glute towards the floor, start to fold that right leg in. So you can stay in two 90-degree angles. Maybe you bring your right heel closer towards your glute for a little bit more of a quad focus stretch. I'm going to focus for these next about 30 seconds on bringing my right glute back towards the floor. Remember, if you need to, you can take this twist here towards the front and enjoy that nice stretch through your low back into your shoulders. All right, we're going to take that right leg and bring it towards the outside of the left knee, and then sit your right glute down. Maybe your two knees stack easily. Maybe you need to bring a block or maybe just a folded up strap in so that you have something that you can press down uh, from the outer edge of that right knee. Big stretch into that right hip happening right here. And if you don't feel it, take a little gentle hinge forward. We're here for just about 20 more seconds. Awesome. If you join me in hinging forward, sit yourself up, remove any props from below your legs. We're going to extend our legs all the way out towards the side. Dragonfly. So open your legs as wide, pop, as feels comfortable for you. And you can keep your hands behind you if that's what feels right today. Or you can also bring your hands forward. Ooh, big stretch towards those inner thighs. No need to force your toes to face up towards the ceiling. If it feels good for you to relax and allow your toes to fall forward, enjoy. And believe it or not, the time has come for us to lay down and take savasana. Ooh. So we get to do one of my favorite things in yoga, which is just bring your legs back together, which you can do as creatively as you want. Boop, 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 boop. I usually like to just kind of uh, jiggle bounce them back in because it feels so good. And then if you want to use your abs a little, you can take your hands out of the picture as you carefully lower yourself down, one vertebrae at a time. Now, I'm going to keep you here for an extra minute or two. But if you would like to stay in the savasana for even longer than that, you're always encouraged to. Take these next 2 minutes to scan your body from head to toe. Every inhale, notice how you're feeling, and every exhale, sink into the mat a little bit more. Focus on your breath, your stillness, and silence. Don't move yet. Don't move. Stay right here on the floor. We'll close our practice out here together today to just encourage you to consider taking a slightly longer savasana. If you are fidgeting and like jonesing to get up off of your mat, can you quiet your mind and breath for 5 more slow breaths so that when you do finally release yourself from today's practice, you feel relaxed and rejuvenated by it, ready to tackle whatever else is coming your way. Take one more opportunity together to really scan your body from head to toe and notice if you feel any different from when class started. Maybe you feel a little bit more comfortable, loose, easy, flexible in your body. Maybe you feel that way in your mind. I know I notice it big time in my breath. When we first laid down on the floor, breathing in and out of my nose was not going to happen. But somewhere towards the middle of practice, I noticed that nose breathing became a possibility again. So truly, keep in mind, anything is possible. Take these next couple of breaths to focus on something that you have already done today that you're proud of. I know if you're joining me live, it's early, but you showed up to practice, and that's always something to be proud of. Till we are together again, remember to think good thoughts, speak good words, eat good foods, do good deeds. Take that time. Nourish yourself from the inside out because you're worth it. Can't wait to see you all again next week. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. And even from down here on the floor, please know that the light within me honors, sees, and is so thankful for the light within you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.